Alright, so I don't know where I left off. I don't know where that died, but I was talking about Israel. So anyway, they're painting them with a wide brush of, they're all. It's basically to get everybody in a hoopla to hate them. Okay, and it's working pretty good because the whole, international community the same international community that wants to take and control us, okay, and ruin our lives and kill us all. They're the same ones that are pushing all this junk, and people are going for it. People are getting sucked into the, oh, they're doing this, and they're getting all excited, and they're getting, sucked into the brainwash, and then, it's like people need to back off a little bit and look at the bigger picture, Christians especially, because they're going to be coming after us too. They're going to be painting us in the same kind of bad brush pretty quick here, and we're going to be the bad guys, and the Bible's going to be the book of hate and all this stuff, and they're going to be fining us and throwing us in prison for having a copy, and killing us for preaching the gospel and for believing in Jesus Christ and praying, and Christians have a short lifespan here. But most don't think about it. I guess they just don't. They think everything's going to be lolly-da, and it's going to keep going like it is. But Jesus warned us of the signs that were going to be showing up when his arrival was near, and the signs are happening. The weather's getting worse. We had an eclipse the other day, and there's earthquakes and stuff going on, with the earth is convulsing a bit, and then you got this political upheaval, wars coming down. The red horse, once this kicks off, I have a feeling that this is going to start the whole show, because they'll be able to eliminate most of our Navy, okay? They've got the technology to do it, In the 80s, it was a different story, but not now. They got stuff that's so quick and so fast and powerful. We're driving around basically dinosaur vehicles that are easily knocked out, boom, done, sunk, it's over. You got 5,000 people on a carrier roughly. You got 10,000 people in a task force with all the different ships, right in there somewhere. And plus you've got Diego Garcia, Guam, which is out there. These are like, in the old days, these would be considered like outposts, or forts way out into the wilderness and far away from any support. And the support comes by ship or air, and you get people that shoot them down and sink them, then it's kind of hard to be supporting all that, It's hard to project power from far, far off. So the Chinese have a plan to basically eliminate the ability for us to do that, and in short order. And the United States, because of pride or whatever, they're basically rolling on momentum from past glories, okay? But the whole thing's going to come to a screeching halt. And the American people, for the most part, are thinking rah rah, MAGA, and all this stuff, and we're the greatest country on the planet, and blah blah blah. But the case is actually that we're not. We are an exceedingly sinful place, and God's judging it. And this is what happens to countries like, the past that get judged by God. Okay, so I'm just saying, expect it. Don't be panicking about what you're going to see as much, because we've been warned about it. We've been told all this is going to happen. So there's been numerous visions and dreams given to people over the years. God, in His mercy, has been trying to warn people as much as He can. Barring actually showing up and saying, look, people, I am coming. I'm just here to warn y'all. But he did that through his people and through visions and dreams and his word and the signs that he is providing in space and the earth and all the different situations he said was going to happen. They're all happening. So here we are. So I would expect that the Philippines is probably going to get hit and eventually taken over. I mean, they'll put up a fight, but it won't be long. And I would imagine that this thing over in Israel might kick off right around a little bit after that. And then the United States will get involved in that somehow. And when we help divide up Israel, God will divide this country in half. That prophecy I was talking about originally, where there's going to be a rift, from like the Great Lakes all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. It's going to be so wide they'll never build a bridge across it. So it'll be mainly afterwards, when things have settled down a little bit. I don't know if they'll ever truly settle down again, but they'll be using a lot of boats, to get commerce across if they can at all anyway. There's just going to be a constant, continuing shaking of the ground after all this, because this rift is such a great rift and quake. It's going to change the whole geography of the United States. And it may also affect the West Coast and the East Coast and parts of Canada and parts of Mexico and parts of the other parts of the world too. People forget about the rest of the world. They're so, United States centric or whatever. But it's going to cause some havoc. You're going to have bridges out. You're going to have whole existing ports, right now that aren't going to be working too good then. And so there's going to be a lot of upheaval. The populations are going to, the political situation here is, it's all smoke and mirrors, really. I mean, they have a plan they're implementing, and they're just doing it. They're just going to ramrod it through it. And, like it or not, we're going to have to live in it. So you're going to have to be pretty rock solid in your faith and trust God, because you start making compromises of your faith and give in a little bit here and give in a little bit there just for convenience sake, because you want things to return to normal. Forget about it. They're not. Okay? Normal's gone. Let's get real. It's going to get hard. It's going to get tough. You're going to have to suck it up and drive on, because you're going to be without lack. You're going to not have toilet paper. Okay? You're going to have to devise other means to do stuff. Batteries are going to run out. Candles, however many you got, what you got, unless you can make them right there on the spot. But you're going to have to think of other ways. You're going to have to, work together and not complain. Don't complain about it. It's not going to do you any good. The thing is, you got to get up and think, well, what can I do? What can I do? Lord, and the Lord will, if you trust Him alone and you don't compromise anything, He will honor that, and He will help guide you. I mean, up to the point of maybe even, materializing a whole dinner for your family on your dinner table, and the other people are going to see that. They're going to see that, and they're going to want that. The ones that haven't given in already. But don't give up, don't give in, don't deny Him, because the moment you do that, it's over for you. You're done. You're done. It's that simple. They're going to kill you, probably, okay? So you're just going to have to, and torture you maybe, and torture your family in front of you, and all these terrible things, okay? I have some videos on my site that one of them was a letter that was written to a brother in Christ. I can't remember, Brother Bob and Al Cuppet, I think his name was. But anyway, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be hard thing. Millions of Americans, when this thing kicks off and we get divided, that's going to be the signal for the Chinese and the Russians to hit us, because they're going to say, hey, no better time than now, man, when they're down, because we're going to be really down. A lot of our ports are going to be out. There's going to be havoc everywhere, oppression. The government's going to get pretty tyrannical in the between now and then. And I expect Kamala's going to come up. People are hoping for Trumpy, but even if he gets in there, he's not going to be in there very long, I don't think. And she's going to basically shred the Constitution, and she's basically being ran by somebody else who used to be president. Okay. So, and then he's being run by somebody else that used to be an archangel. Okay. So, but anyway, so that's the situation we're in, and that's just basically rehearsals. It could be even, possibly something may occur that starts the whole thing. And the United States is now sending carriers over there. The Ronnie Reagan is going over there. Is this thing still going on? Am I talking to myself? Oh, it's still going. Okay. So anyway, they're sending the Ronnie Reagan over there, and that was one of the boats that was in the prophecy. And the Abraham Lincoln's in another, but I think the Lincoln's going to get nailed over in the Persian Gulf, Straits of Hormuz or something. But the Truman is over. They might send the Truman over there, and who knows? Maybe the Nimitz or something. They'll bring a few from Bremerton, and maybe a couple from San Diego, because they're going to hit Hawaii too, and it's going to be another Pearl Harbor.